Okay, next question is, did she have sex before marriage? Because it seems all our African parents waited. What have you ever always wanted to tell the internet?
Nothing.
You've never wanted to tell the internet anything?
Nope.
Hello, Mommy.
Hi, Nubuke.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me on.
Perfect. Well, so there's this thing that people have been doing on the internet where they're asking your African parents or you're asking your mom questions you are too afraid to ask. So there's probably going to be people on the internet who can't come to their parents with some of these questions. So they wanted to ask you instead. And so I have a mix. I have questions that people have asked me, and then I have questions that I've also written on my own. Some of them I kind of already know your answer, and then some of them I don't. So I'm interested in finding out.
Okay, and I hope I have the prerogative to refuse to answer some.
No, you do not, Mommy. You have to answer all.
Try me, I'm an African parent.
Wow. Okay. So without further ado, the first question is, why do African parents always lie that God sends them dreams to manipulate us? LMAO.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So basically, some people's parents, and that's not you, but some people's parents are like always doing, God sent me this dream that if when you went out, something bad happened to you, so now you can't go out with your friends. Have you ever heard that happening before?
Not really. I just don't think I come from a family with that kind of cosmology.
Yeah.
I didn't experience it with my own mother or father. I didn't experience it with my aunts, and I certainly don't do that with my children.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry guys, we can't answer that question. Okay, next question is, did she have sex before marriage? Because it seems all our African parents waited.
Yes, I did. That's the truth, but I was old.
You're not married.
Yeah. I have a daughter and I'm not married. I was old.
So I hope that answers
your
question. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. Oh wow, people are really interested in this sex thing. Okay, what are her thoughts on sex before marriage? PS, not what society thinks.
I think if you're mature enough and you can handle it and you practice safe sex, it's okay. Particularly if you found somebody that you trust and want to give your body to.
Yeah, and like I said, my mom isn't married, so all those societal thingies, boxes that they try and put people in, it doesn't apply to you, because yeah. So because everybody is saying before marriage, and it's like you don't need marriage as a parent. Sorry, next question. Hey, wow. Okay, at what age should young African girls start dating?
It depends on what you mean by dating, because it's a continuum. If you mean by dating, meeting somebody and meeting people of the opposite sex or people you're attracted to and going out with them as sort of special people to you, then that's one thing. If it's about having the kind of relationship where you would be having sex, that's another thing as well. And I'm not so sure, but I imagine that if you're a teenager and you meet interesting people, it's okay to have a drink with them and date, but perhaps
as a teenager, so non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah, and perhaps and do fun stuff with them, yeah. But not to be having sex.
Yeah.
You know? Certainly in my time, I don't know whether you'd call it dating, but I was in Achimota boarding school, and there were loads of people who had boyfriends and girlfriends, including me. But what did we do? We gated. We used to call it gating.
Gating.
And so maybe they'll walk you from the dining hall to prep and that sort of thing. On your birthday, they will buy you a gift. They'll talk with you.
What was the coolest gift you ever got?
Oh, well, I think perfume,
Perfume? Hey, back in the days.
But I was in from 4, from 5.
Hey, wow, hot cake.
And my boyfriend was...
Do I know him?
Lived abroad with his parents.
Oh, really? Why? How did you meet him?
He was in the school.
And then he left.
But his parents lived abroad, and he was
wow.
in boarding school in Ghana.
Oh,
and
okay.
so from his visit, he
That's
he
nice.
gave me perfume.
Do I know him?
You've met him once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of ties into the next question, and you've kind of answered it, but if you remember anything, somebody says, how was dating back in the olden days?
Back in my day, because I don't know what you mean by old days. I don't feel too old. But back in my days, kind of what I described.
Yeah.
And because we were in boarding school when we started dating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the form it took.
Yeah.
Maybe during the holidays, this person will come and visit you. Your father, well, in my case, my father particularly will eye them and be irritated if he saw the person coming too often.
Yeah.
You know, but the person will come and visit you.
Yeah.
And you chit chat and they'll go. Sometimes you walk up and down the street from one or visit friends, that sort of thing.
How would you take it if I told you I was pregnant?
You're 21 years old right now.
Yeah.
So I won't panic.
Yeah.
I won't panic.
Yeah.
We will talk it through,
Yeah.
and I'll support you.
Yeah, I don't think like I'd be scared to come and tell you if I was pregnant by some miraculous reason, but yeah, like
You're 21.
Yeah.
You're almost done with school. What
Yeah.
I will do is encourage you to finish school
and get a job as well. You probably
I mean, I'm sure you will get a job, particularly now that you have
Have a
responsibilities. You will it will put more pressure on you. But what I'm saying is that it will be very important for me that you finish your
school.
uni. I mean, I teach people at the university, and I'm very proud that in the course of my work, there have been times when I've had pregnant students.
You.
Yes, but then I teach graduate school. Most of them have been graduate students, and I support them.
Yeah.
Including one time when one had a cesarean during exam time, and I took the exam papers to her in the hospital.
That's so nice.
So she could take the exam, sat with her. She
Yeah.
wrote the exam. I took the papers back and stuff like that, because it's very important
Yeah.
that we women get support.
Yes, we love to see it, Audrey. We love to see it. And see, oh, somebody said, what would she do if she found out I'm not a virgin? I mean, you probably say okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's your business. You are 21 years old,
Hey, mommy, I don't know what.
and I mean,
Somebody says, can she adopt me so I can live in Ghana? We can be a novice, please, and thank you.
I would love to have you live with me in Ghana. I don't know about adoption. You're probably too old to be adopted by me.
Oh, okay. So somebody says here, what life career plans did you have before you got married? We've already answered the marriage question. So what did you have when you were younger?
When I was younger, it took me a while to decide what I wanted to do. So I'm always a bit forgiving of young people who are not quite sure of what their destiny would be. And so...
Or had a kid. So she says before you were married or had a kid. And or had a kid.
Okay, before I had a kid, I was teaching. I had a kid late. I was 38 years old.
Really? I thought it was 36.
No, 38.
Hi, mommy. Wow.
Yeah, so...
Okay, there's no rush. Because people say 30 and I'm like, yeesh, but 38 is fine.
I mean, you don't have to follow my path.
Oh, why not? You're my mother.
But I already had a career in academia, so
Yeah.
that was already settled. Yeah.
So that didn't change anything, having a kid?
No, at all.
Okay.
I mean, not at all.
And what's it like?
In fact, I had you when I was working on my PhD, because I was already an academic before I went back and got my PhD.
Yeah.
I was already teaching at the university.
So what would you say to people who are like watching this and are like, oh my gosh, like what if my child changes everything in my life? I don't know, how would you...
Well, children do change your priorities. I don't know about everything in your life, because I think that these days we're not as bound as in the past to follow particular sort of destinies because we are now mothers.
Yeah.
We sort of can have it all.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So we finished with the questions that everybody sent in. And here are some questions that I have. So number 1, did you ever sneak out as a child?
To go out at night? No, which is very surprising because I wasn't timid. I did like to go out.
Yeah.
But I would ask permission to go out.
Yeah.
And there were times, and I think we told the family story of when Grandpa wouldn't
I'll leave the video linked up here. Yeah.
And I led the charge to sort of press and then defied him and say, well, we're going to go out.
Yeah, guys, they walked out. They walked out.
You know, because I was like that. But I never did sneak out.
Yeah.
I had no great desire to run out of home. And no.
Is that because they let you when you asked?
They didn't always let me. And I knew when to ask.
Yeah.
And one time, and I think it was only one time, I defied the no ban. Other times, I would argue my way to a yes.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Okay, I feel like you low-key passed that on to me because I mean I don't sneak out.
No,
I don't have
there's
to.
no need.
Yeah, like I can just ask. She'll say yes, and if she doesn't say yes, yeah, but then you always have a reason for your no.
Yesterday I had a reason for no.
and that paid off. Okay, mommy, thanks for the reminder. Anyway, okay, next question. What's the coolest thing you've ever done?
I wish you had told me this. I would have thought through it.
Sorry. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson!
Oh, well, I mean, I'm a journalist, so yes, in a certain sense, things that are significant, like covering the Mike Tyson rape trial was one. Going on demonstrations.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them the one that Grandpa?
There was one when we were.
Let me tell them. Look at them.
When we were students. I think I was in my final year, and we had a military government, and we went on a demonstration, and we got to a certain point, and here were these army people, soldier on top of the army car with a gun, and I was with a group of friends, and we all just scattered and ran, you know, because the guy was sort of shooting in the air, and I just ran to where I thought I would be safe and lost track of my friends. And then finally made my way home, and my dad was waiting. Now that I'm a parent, I am much more sympathetic. He was beside himself with rage. And how could you do that? And I said, how do you know? How do you know where I've been and all of that? He says, I saw your friends, I gave them a ride. You know, because what had happened was he happened to have been passing by and saw one of my friends, of course, knew that was my dad, flagged him down, and the others joined in. And then one who didn't know it was my dad kept saying, hey, I think we lost Audrey. Where is Audrey? And my dad says, Audrey was with you? And he must have been really scared. Come to think of your anxious, because here were Audrey's friends, and Audrey was nowhere inside. And what had happened was I'd gone and I finally hid in some shack with some other students. So we thought the coast was clear, and then made my way home. So
tisk, I would have screamed as well. Okay, so this is a question. I kind of already know what your answer would be, but what would you do if I liked girls?
What would I do if you like girls? Do you like girls?
I don't like girls, I like boys.
Okay, I guess I'll have to accept it. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, I mean,
what can I do? I don't think you're going to be any different. However, I would say that because of the society in which you live, it's going to be tough for you.
Yeah. I mean, I like boys. I was just asking. What would you say? I don't know, because there's a lot of people's parents. So I was doing some research through this video, and then like a lot of people's parents were like, hey, they were just acting some type of way. What do you have to say to those parents?
I know that for Africans, the issue of homosexuality is very taboo, very difficult for them to comprehend. They think it's a Western export or they think it's some sort of I don't know, it's unnatural and all of that. And part of it is because a lot of them are also very evangelical in their religion. And so that's where they're coming from. And that's why they have difficulty with difference. And I think that generally all over the world, and I keep saying it to people, we see the world in binary terms, right? So male, female, black, white, you know, good, bad, when in actual fact the world is not a binary world.
Yeah.
There are just so many shades and spectrums in between that are people's realities, and we just need to come to that understanding.
And then, ooh, I like this one, and this is where I'm gonna end. And so, as you know, I'm at the age where I can bring boys home. And so, if I had a boyfriend, would you let him sleep over?
I don't know.
Why don't you
I
know?
honestly don't know, because I think it will depend on how the relationship develops and my vibes about the boy. So yeah, my vibes about the boy.
Okay.
And what age you are at. If by the time you bring him home you are 30, sure. I'll be the guest room for you. No.
Wow, mommy. So now that I'm 21, I'm not allowed to have a sleepover. Okay. But 21 is like a good age. You said it's on camera.
No, I said you're an adult, but must you tempt? I mean, must you push
your luck?
Yeah.
I'm asking you that question. Okay, we shall resolve this off camera. Well, thank you so much for being on my channel, Audrey. Woo!
You're welcome, Nubuke.
Thank you, and see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. And thanks for this lovely book.
Oh, thank you.
Love and Color. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Thank you.
I just might be a black Bill Gates in the making. So watch this space. Watch this space.